Hello and welcome to Link Ahead, the City of Dublin podcast. Did you know you can become trained to use a speed laser and then capture speeds on a road?
I did. You can also request a ride-along with Dublin Police to see how speed is enforced, and you can request a speed study if you have concerns on your street.
This is all part of our new effort, Slow Down Dublin.
Slow Down Dublin.
Slow Down Dublin. And here to talk about it is Jeannie Willis, Director of Transportation Mobility. Welcome to Link Ahead, Jeannie.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with some myth busting about speed limits. What are some common misconceptions about speed?
Oh, well, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. The first one that comes to mind is that people think that they can just call and request a speed limit change on a road.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't work that way here in the state of Ohio. Here in Ohio, the Ohio Revised Code sets the speed limit. And so here, especially, good engineering practices, follow what the actual speed limit on a road should be so that the two come together and they work together. Sometimes that's the magic, sometimes it's not.
So with those as a baseline, let's get into the Slow Down Dublin program because there's a lot involved and we always want our residents both informed and involved in the process too. So if you go to our website, the Slow Down Dublin page, you can find a toolbox with all kinds of things that you can do to join us in this effort. You can get car magnets, vinyl stickers, and yard signs, which are pretty cool. Bruce designed them, so I'm a little biased there. But this is a data-driven approach. How so?
Yeah, so what we do is first, if a resident has a concern or a complaint about speeds on their roadways, what we'll do is we will go out and we will collect a speed survey. It's a little self-stat box. It's a little inconspicuous gray box that we put on the side of the road. People don't notice it typically. And we happen to be able to capture truer driver behavior versus like what people do when they see a cop sitting on the side of the road. You know, everybody slows down.
Yep.
Yeah. So we want to capture what people are really doing, not what they're doing when people think someone's watching, right? So then we collect the speed data and we analyze it. We don't come up with the data, tells us what the 85th percentile speed is, which is the speed at which 85% of the traffic is traveling at or lower. Very key metric there, industry-wide standard. And then from there, we will figure out what our next steps are. So if it's within, 0 to 3 miles per hour over the speed limit, you'll be in category 1. 4 to 10, you are in category 2. And then over that, you are in category 3.
And that just helps determine what you guys are going to do with that information.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's also say our fantastic Dublin Police will, of course, continue to monitor and enforce speed violations. Mm-hmm. Nothing is changing there. Mm-mm. But we may have listeners wondering, why are we doing this now? Has the city seen an uptick in speeding?
No, not really. But we have heard many complaints about our residents not feeling safe or comfortable on our roadways. And that's something that the city and our city council takes very seriously. And so the vision of the new speed management program is to strive to create safe and comfortable streets for all roadway users, especially those walking and rolling. So not just being in your car, but when you're on the side of the road, we really want to make sure that we are doing everything that we can to help our residents feel safe and comfortable no matter where they are.
So you kind of touched on that this campaign is dedicated to everyone. We're not just talking people in cars. We're talking drivers, bikers, walkers, runners. You know, what is the end game for this?
So really the end game is that we are creating a harmony between our cars and folks outside of their cars. And that could be, just like you said, that could be a walker, a runner, someone on a scooter, any sort of personal mobility device, a bike, an e-bike, no matter what it is, we need to learn how to coexist peacefully. And that starts with a driver's speed.
Sure.
So as part of this, we have a toolbox.
Oh, yeah, you do.
So you go to the Slow Down Dublin page on our website, and then you can find things that you can do to join this effort. So you can get car magnets, vinyl stickers, and even yard signs, which can help with awareness. So let's talk about these things that we mentioned at the very beginning. Speed lasers. Talk about how residents can get trained with these handheld devices.
Yeah, sure. So if a resident is interested, they can contact our PD and they can request a Dublin or a speed laser, and they will come to the police station and get trained on how the speed laser actually works. And then they can actually take that home, because what happens a lot of times is that residents, if you are outside of your car, you may perceive vehicle speeds to be faster than what they actually are. Yep. So a lot of times we'll do the speed surveys, we'll collect the data, we'll report back to the resident what the data is, and they say, that cannot possibly be right. Well, the data is correct. I mean, it is, but they have a hard time understanding how speed feels when you're in your car versus when you're not in your car. So a lot of times, like if you are driving down a local residential road and you're driving at 25 miles an hour, you feel like you're never, ever going to get there. And it's so painful, right? Yes. But if you are standing on the side of the road and someone's driving past you at 25 miles an hour, you don't have a big steel cage around you, right? So you know you're more vulnerable. And that speed feels different to you. So the speed laser program is one way we use to educate our residents on what a speed really feels like when you are standing on the side of the road.
Can I use the speed laser to see how fast my fastball is if I'm throwing one?
You probably could.
Maybe Casey's
All right,
fastball.
just checking.
You probably could.
Okay.
But you might have to get trained.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Tell us more about the police ride-along and to actually watch speed enforcement.
Yeah, so that's a fascinating experience. So again, if a resident is interested and they feel that they would like to understand better how our traffic enforcement unit actually enforces our speed limits in Dublin, they can again contact our police department and request a ride-along. Typically, it's about a 4-hour long journey with an officer, and they get to go out and experience a shift, half of a shift with an officer, and what they have to deal with when it comes to speed enforcement or working with the public on neighborhood residential concerns or whatever the concern may be. Yeah.
I mean, this is great because this is just transparency. You know,
absolutely.
It is, and it's really telling. I did a police ride along several years ago, and we're heading out to 270 33, and Officer Scott Brown was like, we're going to be here for about 2 minutes before I pull someone over for excessive speed. Yeah. It doesn't take long to catch someone speeding out there.
No, and you know, they have several areas that they work regularly with regards to speed enforcement. A school zone is also a real fun one to watch. They're out there regularly on Bridge Street for the Indian Run and Sells Middle School campus. And it takes them no time to just start picking people off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and residents can request a speed study or report an issue on their street, right? So how do they do that?
So there's a couple of different ways. I mean, and really they can use Go Dublin. They can go to our website. They can call. They can email. They can get in touch with us whatever way is most comfortable for them, honestly. Once they initiate that request, an officer will contact them and have contact, work with them on what their concern is. Transportation and Mobility will initiate the speed survey. We will go back in our archives. We will look to see if we have a speed survey that's within the last 18 months. If we do, that will be considered current. If we don't, we'll go back out. We'll get another one or we'll get a fresh one. And then we will start to work with that resident to, once we have the results, work with that resident to figure out where that street falls in the speed management program and determine what our next steps are going to be.
And that speed study, I mean, we've been doing this for a while. So we have, you talk about data driven.
Yeah.
We have on that page, I have to plug the website as well.
Yeah, thank you.
We have all those data points.
We do.
I mean, that's just,
it's transparency. Yeah. So we have all of the speed surveys out there on our website. We actually have a brand new dashboard on our website. Yeah. That shows where citations are being issued, what our speed surveys are, what those results are. So it's really just, again, transparency and sharing exactly what it is that we know about speeds in Dublin.
Let's talk about residential involvement in a specific area too. There's a survey that launched regarding the potential addition of speed cushions on Cascio Lane. So that survey recently closed. You're evaluating the results. What's next?
No, so like you said, we are going through and evaluating those results, trying to figure out what our residents are really trying to tell us. Do they want the speed cushions or not? Once we have determined what those results are, we will take those results back to City Council and make a recommendation as to whether or not to pursue the speed cushions or not on Cascio Lane. And that should be coming up in the next few council meetings. Not sure exactly when we're going to go back.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple of follow-ups here. First of all, explain for us what a speed cushion is.
Oh, yeah, you did ask that. Yeah, sorry.
Are they quieter than the speed bump?
No. So what they are, are they quieter? No, actually, I don't think that they are. But what they are is basically a speed hump, which spans the entire width of the roadway, but it's got a break in the middle. So it's for emergency services. So one of the main concerns with a regular speed hump or a bump is that emergency service response times are slowed down when those are in place. A speed cushion is the break in the hump is at the width of the wheelbase on the fire truck or the ambulance or whatever, so that they can actually drive through unhindered. But it doesn't match a wheelbase for a regular vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you really do take resident feedback seriously.
Oh, for sure.
But I wanted to touch on this idea that it's not easy. And the last time I looked at the survey results for this Cascio Lane, I think it was 50-50.
Right.
So you are in a situation where you know that you are going to make some people happy and some people mad no matter what decision you go with.
Yeah. So actually the speed cushion results right now, I think it's 51% against.
It's like a presidential election.
It is.
Yeah, right. But it's 43% for, and then we have about 6% that they don't know. So we can't count them one way or the other. So right now, our folks who are saying that they don't want it are outweighing the folks that do.
And you see that a lot. I'm
We
sure,
do.
so.
I mean, so the thing is that the one person who wants the speed cushion usually feels as though everybody agrees with them.
Sure.
And that is rarely the case. So we were not super surprised to see these results.
Let's also mention there are some things happening right now in terms of speed limit changes.
Yeah.
On Riverside Drive between Tuller and Martin Roads,
Yeah.
I've heard about this.
Have you?
it's reduced from 40 to 25 miles per hour. Message boards are up. Police will begin enforcing that area October 30th. Why was this area chosen for a reduction?
Yeah, that's a great question. Because of the interaction of all of the roadway users and the vehicles, right, on the road. So the East Plaza, as we talked about already, you know, the Dublin Link Bridge and the East Plaza is booming with activity.
Sure.
Our goal with creating Bridge Street was to create this urban, walkable, dense environment. And guess what? We've been successful. Yeah, we've done it. Congratulations. It's fantastic, right?
It is.
So one of the things that we did is we created a business district that encompasses all of Bridge Street, historic Dublin, so that we could, by the Ohio Revised Code, lower the speed limits on roadways that are not already 25 miles per hour. We're focusing on Riverside Drive right now because of the amount of interaction between the various types of road users. We've got our people walking, rolling, running, scootering, biking, whatever, and our vehicles. And we need to make sure that everyone, again, is living in harmony. And that's really what the focus is.
And it really comes down to safety. And like you
for
said,
sure.
with all the pedestrians in the area, just how people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But what I thought was really interesting here, I heard you say your most recent speed data showed that most drivers in this stretch of Riverside Drive were already slowing down that area anyway, right?
So again, remember how I talked about good engineering and the Ohio Revised Code working together? This is a perfect example of where these two have come together and they work together. And so what we're hearing mostly really is that oh, thank goodness. It's about time
Right.
we were able to. Now, in Ohio, we do have to be reactionary. We cannot be proactive in terms of establishing speed limits. But we finally got there. We got the density. We've got the pedestrian activity. We were able to demonstrate that this is the right time to lower the speed limit, and we were successful.
Yeah, Jeannie, you've mentioned good engineering a couple of times, and, that's a team effort. And I'm going to fangirl moment here real quick, unscripted. But, I came to Dublin, and I was just so immediately impressed by the quality of engineering staff that we have and the women engineers. We have we have our city manager, Megan O'Callahan's an engineer, Deputy Director, Tina Waskowitz. Heidi Rose, absolutely. So talk a little bit about, why you love engineering and why you encourage young females to consider that as a career.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Talk about a topic close to my heart, right? Because engineering, especially the work that we do, you get to change the world. You do. I mean, you get to see the changes, like almost like here in Dublin. It is fantastic to get to work here because if you can dream it, you can make it happen.
So true.
It really is. And there's nothing more satisfying as an engineer to dream it and then to see the results of your hard work out in the field and people appreciating the work that you've done.
Right.
It's every engineer. Well, I think it's every engineer's dream. It was my dream as an engineer, but you get to impact the world and make it a better place.
Yeah. And you've been grinning ear to ear. You can just tell that you really have a passion for what you do. And so you can't make everyone happy, but you can make everyone safer. And that's what you do. So
that's what I try to do.
Jeannie, we wrap each and every episode with rapid fire questions.
She knows.
You know this.
She's ready for this.
Kind of, but not really.
So here we go.
Okay.
What was the first car you ever drove?
Oh my gosh, it was a Honda Civic station wagon. That was a stick shift.
Do you still have it? It's probably still running.
Yeah, it probably is. No, I do not still have it, but I enjoyed that car a lot.
And you said that was a stick shift, huh?
Yep.
So you can drive one.
I sure can.
Dream car, truck, SUV, which one?
So it would probably be a car. And I love Audis. So I would probably pick an Audi, like maybe an A4 or an A6.
Wow. Very fancy.
Those are
okay. Really fun
cars.
question here. Okay. You have a cross-country road trip, multiple days, long hours in a car together. You can have any 3 people in the vehicle with you, any at all.
Okay.
Who's riding shotgun and who are the 2 in the back?
Oh, wow.
So you guys are going to think I'm really corny, but I picked my family.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
You have to say that.
No, I don't have to.
But who's in the back?
Yeah.
My kids. My husband's riding shotgun. We have so much fun together, the 4 of us.
Oh, I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, sticking with the cross-country trip. If you couldn't fly, would you rather drive, take a train, or ride a bus?
Oh, that's easy. Can you guys guess?
I would have said train.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll take a train all day long.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Trains are great. They really
I would
are.
rather take a.
They're fast.
Even if I could drive, but there was a train available, I'd take the train.
Well, you said you're going to change the world, so let's get some more.
Get the train.
Hey, we've got to
here
study. We're going to get some
Dublin.
passenger rail coming out here. Oh, yeah. Talk about changing the world.
That'll be great. Okay, so on a road trip by yourself, would you listen to music, podcasts, audiobooks, or all of the above?
Audiobook. All day long.
Yeah.
Now, sticking with our beloved Dublin, what's your go-to lunch spot in town?
Ooh, I love the DVT, Dublin Village Tavern.
I think we've had a couple votes for that.
Yeah, we should keep a running tally because
yeah,
I
you
think that one
should.
is. I think that one's in the lead. Okay,
Yeah.
best place to people watch.
Oh, probably. Oh, the East Plaza for sure.
Oh, that's a good answer. I'm glad she
Yeah.
didn't say City Hall.
Nah, East Plaza for sure.
A couple episodes ago, we talked about our 24 roundabouts with Paul Hammersmith.
Oh, yeah.
A fun factoid about Dublin that you can share.
I have been able to work on the redesign of all 3 interchanges in Dublin, both from the private sector and on the public side. So my name is all over The new interchanges.
Tell me, what are those interchanges?
So it's the Sawmill 270 SPUI, the single point urban interchange.
Fan of it.
That's the one that I got to work on when I was at Burgess and Eichel as a consulting engineer. The 270-33 interchange, and then the Avery Muirfield interchange, both on the public side and on the private side. Again, I worked for Burgess and Eichel when that interchange was under design. And then the 33 Post Road 161 interchange.
All right.
All right. So confess, can we find like your handprint anywhere?
No, I was actually very good about all of that, but you can find my name all over the project documents.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Okay. Last question. How about a fun factoid about yourself?
My husband had my job here in Dublin before I did. And then I showed him how it was really done.
Oh my gosh. Did he recommend you for the job?
I think actually he did.
Oh,
yeah.
That's great.
I think he told me that he was like, hey, because I was working at Burgess and Eichel at the time, and he said, hey, I'm leaving. He's like, you might want to consider it. He's like, Dublin's a great place to work.
Well, and he was right about that. So
right.
Thank you, Keith Willis.
Yeah, it's been bliss ever since.
Oh, Jeannie Willis, you're a great sport, and you do such incredibly important work for our city. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you as well for taking time to connect with your city. Tune in next time as we continue to explore the many personalities and experiences that make Dublin a thriving place to live, work, and grow.